All right, so we should be live right now, but before we kind of get this interview underway, is there anything that you want to plug or anybody you want to shout out?
Yeah, I'll shout out, St. Rita basketball, all my teammates, and I'll shout out my AAU program. I'll shout out Mac Urban Fire and all my teammates over there too. Love you guys.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I guess first things first, we'll kind of start off the interview with a little more some fun topics. So I don't know if you remember, like my dad, he's from Chicago and everything. Like, I mean, not like literal in the city, but probably like 20 minutes out, whatever. Not too far away. So yeah, I've definitely gone to Chicago a handful of times. And something I like is the food. So I guess first things first, sticking with Chicago food. What's your opinion on the Chicago style pizza? You like it or what?
Deep dish is cool. It's not my favorite necessarily. I prefer uh what do you call it? Thin crust. I prefer thin crust pizza, but I mean, if somebody has deep dish pizza there, I mean, I'll definitely eat it.
Yeah, so I guess because I thought like I don't know everyone lives in Chicago that like that's the only pizza they eat like they don't eat other pizza. So you're telling me like most people like if I went to let's say you were throwing a birthday party and you're like 10 years old and you guys got pizza, like what are the chances it would be I guess thin crust instead of a deep dish?
It would probably be thin crust more than deep dish. You really eat deep dish when you like go to a restaurant or something like that. I mean, but if you went to like a Super Bowl party, they would probably have deep dish there, but they would have thin crust too. Because like not everybody is necessarily from Chicago and like would eat
Yeah.
deep dish pizza.
Yeah, I guess another thing though, like I remember before I kind of got into like I haven't had deep dish pizza in a long time, so I'm not going to eat it unless I'm in Chicago. I feel like it's kind of sketchy if you're not there. But I remember I had like because I wasn't into it yet, so I got like the normal thin crust pizza, but they cut it up in like it was almost like a bunch of mini squares.
Yeah, yeah.
So is that how it is, or like do you eat it like a triangle?
I eat it in squares. I prefer it. It's like it feels like you can eat more without like feeling like you're eating more. You know what I mean? Because they're so small. Or is that just me?
I'm well. I mean, the thing is, everywhere else in the world, it's usually a triangle. So it's kind of like,
Right?
but I definitely understand where you're coming from. But I just like because I'm a big I enjoy crust. So it's like
Yeah.
sometimes yeah, I remember some of the squares were like like literally maybe like this like this kind of, or how do I do this? How do you make the square like this maybe? Yeah,
Yeah.
it was probably like this big with no crust. Like that's kind of like of course it's fine, but it's like I enjoy the crust stuff. Who's a part of the pizza. Yeah, and then I guess another Chicago kind of thing. Even though I know like there's even some in Florida too, but Portillo's, man, that place is pretty good. So what's like your go to order?
It depends what I'm feeling. Sometimes if I go to Portillo's, like if I have a game the next day, I'll get the spaghetti from the rest. I don't know if it's in like that in Florida, but in Portillo's
Yeah,
here they have a restaurant there called Barnelli's.
yeah,
So they serve like salads and pastas and stuff. So if I have like a game, something, I'll get the spaghetti. But if I'm like just chilling, don't have anything to do, then I'll probably get a cheeseburger and
yeah.
cheese fries, or I'll get like an Italian beef with
Okay.
cheese fries, something like that, and then a shake.
Yeah. I heard the whole Italian beef. I tried it. Like, I wasn't the biggest fan, but like it was pretty good. I get the Chicago dog is what I
Okay, all right.
is what I get. But yeah, I know the Italian beef is like the thing to get there. And then another thing, it's not Chicago, but it's in the area, Culver's. I don't know. There's gonna be a couple now near my area. That place is so good.
Yeah, cool.
What's your take on that restaurant?
Now Culver's is decent. It's not better than Portillo's, but I mean it's a good place to eat though. Their ice cream is really good though. I like their custard.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say it's like my opinion. If I had to rank like all the fast food places I've gone to, I think I put Portillo's in the top three, or at least I guess, or maybe like top four. Because I probably only gone to like six total, maybe. But nah, that place is so good. I think the burgers pretty fire. Then the fries are actually good. But I mean those mixers, whatever, like the custard stuff,
Yeah,
like that stuff is so good. Oh my
yeah.
god. Yeah. What do you get in yours?
In my custard,
Yeah.
I usually get something simple. Like I'll get vanilla with strawberries or chocolate with hot fudge.
Oh, what?
Yeah, yeah.
Man,
I'm some
that's a little weird. Now, what I do, I think mine is fine.
weird.
I get Oreos and caramel. That's what I do.
Okay,
It is so good. It
but
is so good.
that's not weird though. Strawberries with or
Ah,
vanilla with strawberries.
it's not weird, but it's like,
It's like
you know,
strawberry ice cream.
I guarantee you, most people, if I asked them, like if I went to Culver's with, let's say, five of my friends, I can almost guarantee you, I don't think any of them would put strawberries in it. Not because they don't like strawberries, but it's just like, you know, I don't know. I can't see like, because do they like, I guess, mix it in there so it really turns into strawberry ice cream, or is it just like vanilla? Then you just have like a chunk of strawberries.
No, they mix it in a little bit, so it's not like where they're just sitting on the outside. But I mean, it's not like completely mixed in.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna waste like my caramel and what's called Oreos to try it, but I'm sure. I mean, you can't like go wrong with any kind of ice cream. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I'll definitely agree with that. But now kind of going to more of the I guess we could actually this is maybe more to the music side of things. I know Chicago, it's filled with a bunch of rappers. So are you kind of like into Chicago rap? And like if so, who's your favorite?
Lil Durk by far. Lil Durk, King Chicago
Yeah.
by far.
So is that is,
No question.
so is he like your number one out of everyone, or is he just like your favorite Chicago rapper?
Nah, Lil Durk's number one out of everybody. I'm a big you like how people be talking about YB. That's how I am about Lil Durk. Like,
Yeah. I definitely understand where I mean, people kind of talk about Lil Durk that way too, but I do think though the album he just put out with Lil Baby, I think that could
yeah,
be because I feel like in his more older stuff, like it was kind of hard to like understand what he was saying, but I feel like this one was very, at least in terms of the way he was literally saying the words, very
yeah,
clear. I thought I think it might have been, well, I think the one before it was probably better, that one before, but I think that this one though was like he's definitely, I think, at his peak right now.
yeah. No, yeah, he's top right now. I remember at the USA camp, me and Marcus were on the same bus, and I would always be singing Hellcats and Trackhawks, and like everybody would
Oh,
always be making fun of me because I was always singing the same song.
yeah, I mean that song, like I don't think it's like like too popular in Florida, but I know like a lot of the Florida guys actually kind of like that song too. But like in my opinion, like I'm not gonna listen. I guess when you're kind of getting hyped for a game or practice, like I'll listen to that song. But if I'm chilling doing my homework, that's not something like it's a rare occasion that that song's gonna come on because I feel like you gotta play certain music for certain situations. I'm not just gonna
Right?
be in my room chilling listening to that song like, but that song always that song is very good.
Yeah.
It's very good. Yeah. It could definitely get you hyped for sure. And I guess now you kind of go into more of the basketball stuff. So you keep bringing up the Team USA camp, and I guess you could say that was maybe one of the cooler things that's probably happened to you since we did the original interview for any of the real fans, no one's watching that knows. So I guess what was that overall Team USA camp like?
It was a it was a great experience for me. It was a learning experience. I was very glad that I was able to go and learn from the great coaches there, and then be able to also learn from the players that were there too. You know, just playing against the competition. I feel like it was able to get me better and prepare me. But it was just a great experience overall. Just get to see where I am when it comes to other guys in the country. My age. So I think I was able to go out there and hold my own.
For sure. And I liked how you brought up, like, before we kind of press go live for this interview, how you were saying kind of when you got invited, you started reaching out to a lot of different players and everything, trying to build some relationships. And that's like a common thing of this era of basketball where guys are just networking and talking to guys online on social media. So even though people are like, oh, like everyone's soft now, like everyone's friends, like why do you think it's kind of important for guys to, use social media, like network with other top players and everything like that?
Because you never know who can help you, in life. You never know, even if basketball doesn't work out, you never know who might be a lawyer, who might work for this NBA team, or who might go overseas and do this. And then also, on the court chemistry too, if I just happen to make the team, then, being able to say that I have a connection with these people before I've, ever played with them, that works too, to help me look better and help them look better also. So, just, building connection for on the court, and then later in life you never know who's going to be doing what.
Yeah. Well, like in my opinion, I feel like it's kind of like it's pretty tough to build like a friendship with someone just through like social media. Like, you know, I'm like DMing these basketball players like all day and everything, but very few, like I guess you could say, I talk to on a daily basis, because it's like, you know, you don't go to school with them, like you
Right.
at the moment you never met him, so it's kind of tough. Like there's only so much you could really talk about, like even for normal people too. Like I'm not one of those weird people that's like adding everyone else. Like I only add people that I know and I like on
Right.
Snapchat. So
Yeah.
I barely have like anybody on there. Like I'm not just adding like anybody comes to my request. Like I do not do that. Like I just feel like like you cannot build a really really good friendship just off social media unless both people are like the exact same person. That's a little easy,
Right.
but if not, it's tough. So like, how were you able to kind of build a friendship with these people, or maybe like at least a relationship with the people online, or was it more just like just to maybe build more of a familiar face, and then when you see them in person, then you could kind of work on that?
Building a familiar face and then kind of working on it. But with people that that I became friends with over the line, just kind of getting to know them, asking where they're from, what high school you go to, what AU team you play with, and then kind of just building off those similarities. Like, oh, you play with this EYBL team. Oh, okay, I play with this EYBL team. Oh, okay, yeah, I saw you in this tournament. Blah 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 blah. I'm going here. You're going here. Like things like that.
Yeah.
If
Were
that
there?
makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, no. It definitely makes sense. So, were there any guys that you DM that maybe you played against, and it was kind of like, you know, like you didn't want to say like, oh yeah, I played your team, like, you know, not really. I'm you know, kind of a little bit of an awkward rivalry between us, but obviously you're not going to say that. Was there any kind of like moments where you're like, I want to tell him like how much I wanted to beat his team or how happy I was that I beat him, but you know, I'm just not going to let him know.
Nah, nothing necessarily like that. The closest thing with that would be funny. I keep bringing up Marcus, but when before we went there, he plays with each one teach one, and I play with Mac Urban. So I was playing with the 16U team at the time, and his 15U team played my 15U team, but I wasn't playing, and they won. So he kept bringing that up, like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, my 15U team beat you, but I wasn't. But I kept saying, I wasn't playing. But then his 16U team beat our 16U team, so they kind of beat me with that. But it'll be a different story when I'm playing.
Yeah. All right. Well, hopefully, you know, he sees that could be a little. We can maybe get a little rivalry between friends. Friends turn to foes kind of thing.
Yeah, friendly
Not,
rivalry, nothing serious.
yeah. Then I guess maybe because yeah, I mean, you always keep bringing up Marcus. But I mean, were there any other guys you were kind of able to build a relationship with at the Team USA camp as well?
Yeah, I was able to build a relationship with. I don't know if you know Jakai Howard.
But I had a
Um,
good feeling you're gonna bring him up because everyone always says like his like if I ask like what kind of guys have you built a relationship with, his name always comes up. So I had a good
yeah.
feeling you would say him.
Justin McBride, Jalen Lewis, Kylan Boswell. Those
Mhm.
like, just kind of everybody really, not anybody specifically, kind of we all bonded, as a group of guys, just as a team really. We all kind of came together on the court, off the court. We were all talking, hanging out. I still talk to him now sometimes.
Mhm.
So
So like I understand you guys kind of were all able to bond in a way, but I also know you guys like you didn't even have a roommate in your hotel room. Like you guys were kind of all alone, and I also know like there wasn't much to do because of Corona. Like I know they didn't let you guys out for like a couple of days and everything. So were there really like a lot of time for you guys to just kind of have fun with each other and interact, or was it more like I guess you know you maybe had like a few minutes to talk, and then other than that it was like practice and all that stuff.
nah, there was time for us to interact. So there are always the bus rides there and getting ready and stuff. Even in the practice, we were able to, like talk to each other a little bit and then, getting to know each other playing. But like off the court, we would eat dinner together, after we were able to get off like that 3 or 4 day quarantine where we had to stay in our rooms. We were able to eat with each other, talk to each other then. We couldn't go in each other's like specific rooms, but we were still able to like go downstairs in like this they had like a game area almost for us with like a PS4, excuse me, and we were able to go down there and talk down there too. So it was still opportunities for us to get to know each other and bond with each other, even though we still had to follow guidelines for COVID and stuff.
Yeah. And just getting like invited to the camp is obviously a very big deal because not many kids have that opportunity. So just what it mean to you, and I guess how to feel getting invited to the Team USA camp.
It was a really special, it was really special for me. It's a great opportunity for me. I was very grateful for the opportunity, grateful for the coaches at USA, and then grateful for, my coaches at St. Rita for, helping me prepare for, being able to go down there. And then also grateful for my coaches at Mac Irvin, for preparing me and putting me in a position where they felt like I could go down there and compete. So, I was grateful, I was excited, but I also was, determined to go down there and, show people, who I am and what I represent here back in Illinois.
For sure. So what do you represent? Because you said like, I want to show people who I am, like what I represent and everything. So I guess what do you represent, in Illinois that you're trying to showcase over there?
Toughness, being big, being aggressive, being tough, not really easy for people to like, I don't know, I want to say get in my head or like, score on me, stuff like that. Just like being tough and resilient, being strong, like being able to score on all three levels, just being able to do it all really. Dribble, shoot, pass, it doesn't really matter. That's kind of like what we represent down here,
For sure. Was there at all like maybe do you have like a favorite particular moment at the camp? Was it like maybe a super funny moment that happened while you were there?
A particular moment. Yeah, I got one. When the power blacked out, like when the power went out, it was a big storm down there, and everybody was sitting in the hallway, and we were just cracking jokes, and we were talking about a specific player who got dunked on by somebody, by Mikey Williams, and everybody was laughing about it, and that was pretty fun. And then also, I got another moment with, like when people were, I guess when the power went out, everybody was outside their rooms, and people were running around, like just being like having fun since we had the whole floor to ourselves, just running around, enjoying, like just enjoying each other's company, basically.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like I can see myself doing that, but then I'm imagining like all these like ginormous big basketball players like just running back and forth, like that. That just sounds like to you it looks normal, but like I can never imagine like a normal sized person witnessing that happening. It probably looks so weird.
Yeah, it was. I remember one time one of the DoorDash people came upstairs, and everybody was running around, and everybody's like 6'8", 6'9". He was like, "Wow!" Like just looking up at everybody, and we were just looking at him like, "What's he talking about?"
Yeah. I must be so like, and it's crazy for me too because I know like I got like two. I think I'm actually the tallest one in my whole family or like in my whole house. Like I can never imagine. Like I guess my little brother, he's 11, and if I go down to my knees, that's how tall he is. Like it feels so weird, like viewing like I'll be on my knees and like some of the counters are like higher than me. Like I'm like, how do you like? I just can't imagine what that's like anymore.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like you get used to it, but like sometimes I'll be like, I'll just have to be like go down on my knees and be like, wow, this is what like regular people see all the time. I mean, I guess that's kind of corny, but I do it too.
Yeah, and something I mean, you might consider this corny. You might actually let me want a little prop for this one because we could look twins for a second. Let me get. And I'm pretty sure because I know you wear real glasses. Those are probably real, but I got my blue light glasses look pretty similar to yours. So now we kind of look like twins. But I guess something I gotta address, even though it's corny. I'm trying to get a trend. The term goggle gang. I don't know if you remember. But I know
Yeah, I remember.
That has to be something created. So would you say is goggle gang your thing, or are you not really into that?
Nah, I mean, I wouldn't call it my thing. I mean, I wouldn't be like ashamed to it, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's cool. I'm not gonna say like it's a trademark or nothing like that though.
Yeah, because I think it really should be. Like I mean I don't know. I haven't seen anything anywhere, but I think goggle gang. Like I'm telling you, like I don't wear glasses or anything. Tries to blue light glasses, but man, if I become famous, I'm gonna make goggle gang a thing, and I'll make sure you're the one like marketing everything. Then I'm gonna do jump stop fam. That's gonna be my
fam.
Yeah, because no one ever jump stops. That's the move. Those are gonna be my two creative ideas.
That's funny. Jump stop.
Yeah. No. It's definitely a move.
I'm gonna work on that goggle game. No, I got you with that.
So maybe kind of a more fun question. I don't know if you could think of it off the top of your head, but in the spirit of Goggle Gang, could you maybe give yourself like maybe actually I guess maybe including you like a top three or top five players that have worn goggles?
I don't even know if I can name 3 or 5 that wore goggles. I know Kareem. I'll put myself up there.
All right.
Um, People have worn
Yeah,
goggles.
yo, I'm trying.
Can
I'm
I
trying to help.
say?
I'm thinking too.
Can I say people that are in the? Because I know Reggie Jackson wears goggles.
All right. Anybody, any basketball. You could even be like a 2-year-old that wears goggles. Like any basketball player that you think is good that wears goggles.
My teammate in Mac Irvin, Calvin, big
All right.
Calvin. I'm put him up there, and I'm put another one of my teammates. He wears them sometimes, but Jaden, I'm gonna put them up there. I'm put them in my top 5, I guess.
All right. So
So I
you got
go,
you got 3 teammates that all wear goggles together.
yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you guys could be like not even like I don't know like the not the goggle trio, but like something. So what's it? Is it at all like are all you guys on the same exact team, or is it one on your high school team and one on your AAU team?
Nah, we're all on the same AAU team.
Yeah. So I feel like there's always that one player that wears goggles on the team, but then it's like having 3 of them. I mean, do a lot of teams maybe ever laugh at that? Like you got 3 guys showing up with goggles on.
Nah, man, you can't laugh if you getting blown out. People don't really laugh at us. I mean, it's nothing to laugh about. I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, if somebody laughed at me because I mean, it doesn't really matter because I don't really care.
Yeah. And do you think I'll just a couple more questions with the goggles, but I feel like it is something unique, and a lot of players wear goggles. So I
Right?
guess
Yeah.
are you trying to keep that like let's say you go to the league and have like a LeBron James amount of career like that long. Are you gonna think you're gonna just wear them every single game, or you think maybe you might just wear contacts and stop wearing them?
Nah, I'll probably wear them every single game. I don't know what it is, but I got a fear of like putting stuff in my eyes. Like I don't know where that comes from, but like eye drops, contacts, I'm
Yeah.
straight with that stuff.
Yeah. So I guess another thing too, like it is because I mean a lot of people in the world wear glasses. Like I don't know if it's coincidence that somehow basketball players don't wear glasses too much, but a lot of people do. So why do you think like people that wear goggles, it's not really a common thing?
I don't know. I mean, I honestly don't know about that. I can't answer that question. I guess people just think it's easier to wear contacts and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But I mean, my thing with like wearing contacts in a game is like, what happens if you get poked in the eye, like the contact
Yeah.
gets stuck in your eye? Like that's I wouldn't want that. So I just, it's just easier with the goggles. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I guess the good thing with the goggles too is, I mean, one, you can't get poked in the eye, and also if someone kind of tries to punch you in the eye, would be a very weird spot to punch somebody. I mean, they're gonna have to go through the goggles first, or like
Right.
they're like your bodyguard and everything. So
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like I got another layer of protection on my face.
yeah, definitely. Now I can take these off. I like never wear these. I only wear them like right before I go to bed. Also because I have the light, so it looks like really stupid with the light reflecting on my glasses.
They look good.
Yeah, no. Like I like them, but also I had like a fake. You remember when like LeBron James and Dwayne Wade like went to China and they wore those like fake glasses?
Yeah.
Bro, I was really into that. Like I would show up to school, I had these like nerd glass. Like I would like punch through the 3D glasses of movies, and I go to school and wear those. Like I was very into that trend. But then it's like it feels kind of stupid. People are like, oh, you have glasses. I'm like, no, they're fake. Like it just sounds like it just sounds like kind of stupid. So that's why I just kind of take them off. But also too with the light. My parents said it looks like I'm like some sort of like sci-fi character or someone with the light reflecting in my eyes and everything. So yeah, so I take them off for the interviews. But I guess what would you say your high school season was like for you since you were a freshman and everything?
Our high school season, it was obviously unique, with the COVID year, but I think it was a good season for, me, my teammates, all of us for us to, learn us being so young. I think we had a really successful year, us being so young and us being able to, go out there and compete with everybody. I think it's going to be really exciting for us this summer because we're looking, even in these practices, I think we're looking really good. Not just me, but Marez, Jaden, Caden, Melvin, the freshman coming in. I think we're going to be, really scary over these next couple of years. We're really starting to gel with each other and, get to know each other more, but just, everybody, Bryce, Evan, people that I didn't mention, I think we're going to be really good over these next couple of years.
Yeah, I just wanted to. I was on my phone, was making sure like you were involved in this. I know my guy Sloshay put a video of you guys in gym class. I don't know if you maybe talk about what was going on in that, because that, I mean, that's not a typical gym class.
No, so at St. Rita we don't have gym. It was
Okay.
it was a freshman retreat. And the week, but like a week before, I dunked on one of my friends. Well, one of my teammates did, Evan. He did the same thing. He dunked on somebody, and it was on Slow Shay. I don't know if you saw it. It might be like a week down or something like that. But then
Yeah.
everybody was like the whole week of school. Like people were walking up to me and Morez, and they were like, "Oh, are you guys gonna dunk on somebody? You guys gonna dunk on somebody?" And at first I was like, "Nah," because I knew I was gonna come in there with like my slippers on and be like chilling. But then everybody was like, "Oh, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it." So I was like, "I might as well do it." And I was scared because the gym is like right behind my coach's office. So I thought he was gonna like come out and start like tweaking with me and like be mad at me for like trying to dunk on somebody. But it was all cool. It was all cool at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I didn't realize like you were wearing slippers when you were doing that. I mean, like that's, I guess, first off, why the slippers?
Comfortable. I'm always like I always wear these. I got them on right now actually, but like I'm always like comfortable. They're just comfortable, and I mean they go with everything. So
Mhm.
I mean I really didn't feel like I had to try and stun on people at a freshman retreat. I was sitting around praying the whole day. So
Yeah, definitely. But then I guess having to, because even what you did, I mean, I guess you are an athlete, so I shouldn't be too impressed. But thinking about it, like you dunked. I mean, you kind of didn't even dunk on him in a way, but we'll also say you did for the fun of it. But regardless, you dunked wearing slippers, which like that's definitely kind of challenging. Like I'm sure maybe some thoughts, like you said, like I mean, I'm wearing my slippers. Like maybe you could have slipped. You could. I mean, they're called slippers. You could have slipped. Like something could have happened. So was that at all a little bit challenging? Having to just get up like that in slippers.
no, not really. I mean, I didn't get up as high as I really could. That's the
Yeah.
thing that I was like laughing at, that I didn't really even get up that high.
Yeah.
Because I jumped from like really, really far, so I didn't even think I was gonna make it. But when I made it, I was like, oh, wow, I kind of made that. But I was more worried about like the landing, not trying to fall and twist my ankle or something like that.
And I guess someone also kind of took away from that video, not really about the basketball, but more, I guess, kind of saying the slipper is more like an off-court style kind of thing. I'm not scrolling down too much, but I see you definitely got a couple variations of how you like to wear your hair. So, what's kind of like your go-to hairstyle, or do you just like kind of just change them both up in like a pattern?
I kind of change them up in a pattern. Like sometimes I'll keep it like this, like with the braided down, and then sometimes I'll get it braided in like cornrows, and then sometimes I get it like twisted, like two-strand twisted, which is kind of like this but a little different. And then sometimes I'll just wear it out. I like wearing it out the most, but sometimes my hair be tweaking with me, so I just gotta like put it in braids or something like that.
Yeah. So I guess, is there at all like, do you maybe put your hair in a certain way for a big game and then like a certain way for like a different thing, or do you really just go like, all right, last time I did braids, so now I'm just gonna like wear it out, just like literally a complete rotation.
Nah, it's kind of like how I play best in. So before I went to USA, I had my hair in braids, and I played her like a really good game. Me and my AE team, we had a really good game together. So I was like, okay, I got it in braids. I might as well. I play good with braids. I might as well go, to USA with braids. And then I did okay. I did good at USA, so I was like, okay, I'll just keep them in now. It's kind of like what I'm playing best in. And then as soon as I have like a bad game or I mess up in my braids, I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna take them out and play with my hair out, see how that works.
For sure. So now going back to just normal high school and everything. I know your freshman experience, even like the whole season, probably a little bit of a mess, but just like in general, like having to get adjusted to high school because I feel like high school is a big jump. Well, there's a lot of similarities from like middle school to high school, but also like it's a big difference as well. Coming from eighth grade, then all of a sudden, you're back at the bottom in high school. So how did you get adjusted to high school with Corona and everything? Where I'm sure you may be online school for a little bit and all that.
Just going in because here we had an option where you could either go half the time, go full time, and then go online. So I went full time, so it made it a lot easier to transition with getting to know other people who went full time. Like as the year started, to end, like towards the end of school, it was like maybe almost everybody was coming full time except for maybe like a couple people in each grade. But it was, it made it a lot easier, not being stuck behind a computer all the time. And then, St. Rita also had like a lot of different events for like people to come to school, to get to know each other, like the freshman retreat, for example. And then like, we didn't have like a necessarily like a homecoming, but we still had like a homecoming activities where we were able to, come in after school. We had a 3-on-3 tournament, different things like that. So it was different stuff where I was still able to, get to know people.
For sure. And something that I've asked both, I did interviews with Jakai and Liam really recently, since I know they're both in the same grade as you. I asked them, did you ever get lost? So I'm going to ask you the same question. Did you ever end up getting lost at all?
No, I didn't. I never got lost here. I mean, it's not that big, but it's kind of like everything kind of is like a circle. It kind of connects with each other. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And then I also know, I'm pretty sure, so isn't St. Rita like really well known for football?
Yeah, it is. It's actually Caleb Brown just committed to Ohio State for football. So yeah, it's a big football school.
Yeah. So I don't know like too much, I guess, about I don't know a lot about the school in general, but I do know like football is kind of big there. So are you guys like are you and your team almost like kind of trailblazing the way for the basketball program now, showing like, hey, we're more than a football school?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. But I mean, it's been a lot of good basketball alumni from St. Rita too, like Charles Matthews, who went to Kentucky, then went to Michigan, Vic Law. I mean, you could say it's a football school, but I mean, I guess we are kind of in the way of trying to change that to be like, basketball is a big thing here too, also. So, I mean, yeah, but I mean, if you ask the common person in Illinois about St. Rita, they're probably gonna think of football.
Yeah. And I know, I mean, you do kind of give me like if you, I guess, took off the USA gear and like put on a bunch of football stuff, I would definitely believe you played football and didn't play basketball. So have you ever tried playing football before?
Yeah, I actually played football when I was like maybe 3rd through 7th grade. I played football. Football is actually my first love because I was better at football than I was basketball. But then I got too tall for football and people would start hitting me in my knees. So I got a lot of knee injuries. So then I switched over to basketball and then I started getting better at basketball. So I started to like basketball more.
Okay. Then coming in again to your freshman season now, like on the court, now in terms of like in the classroom, did you at all feel like it was maybe a little difficult for you to get adjusted to high school basketball since now, like even though you're a pretty big guy, like you're playing against more experienced and much more older players?
Yeah, I'm my first maybe the first couple of practices that I think this is kind of with our team in general, not just me, but everybody. I think it was a big adjustment for all of us, because it's really different from AAU, and that's something that our coaches like to stress a lot, in our practices. It's not AAU. It's a lot more fundamental, like people use jump stops, take charges, extra passes, things like that. They really matter, especially playing in the Catholic League. So I think it was a big adjustment, not only for me, but just our whole kind of team in general. And I think now that we got it, it's something that that we're going to be able to use to our advantage, being so athletic and, everybody is, really talented. So I think that's going to be something that makes us really scary that we got, we do like the necessary things to win, whether it's like diving on the floor, taking a charge, making an extra pass, rebounding, boxing out. I think that's something that's real special about us.
And of course, you guys also have like seniors on the team as well. But I do know, I mean, you're a freshman. I know you at least got like probably a few other freshmen on that team. And I guess really like not a lot of high school teams have a lot of freshmen. So what was it like being a younger-ish team this year, and also knowing that like it's basically gonna keep getting scarier and scarier every single year now?
I think it was pretty cool for us because I feel like we all stepped into the game. Yeah, I feel like everybody, especially us freshmen, the four freshmen that were here. I feel like even the sophomores. I feel like we kind of stepped into every game with we've got nothing to lose. We're so young. We're playing teams with five seniors, six seniors, and stuff like that. I feel like everybody's stepping into the court thinking, feeling like pressure that they have to be us because we're so young. So I think that was definitely to our advantage. Being able to come out and be like, oh, we got nothing to lose. This is just our first year. Not using that as an excuse that we were young, but just being able to play, kind of pressure free, and I think it made it easier for us to play.
I guess my final question about St. Rita, and then we'll kind of transition into AAU and Mac Irvin Fire. I guess what like I asked in the beginning of the interview, and that's why I'm going to ask a similar question about Mac Irvin Fire. But like I said, you got any shout outs, stuff like that. You shout out your high school and everything. So just why do you have kind of so much pride of going to your high school and everything like that?
Because I know that I have so much pride in St. Rita because I know St. Rita has a lot of pride in itself. Our coaches, I have a lot of love for them and our teammates because I know that they have a lot of love for me and everybody else. You know what I mean? Like, I know that they're working hard for not just me, but Morez, Bryce, Evan, Jaden, everybody else on the team. Just like I know that, like, everybody has a lot of love for each other. So if I do something good, I know that everybody else is going to be happy for me. Just like if somebody else does something good, I'm going to be really happy for them. So, I take pride in, the love that, we have for each other as a family and as a brotherhood here.
For sure. And now your AAU team, which you also kind of shout out, Mac Irvin Fire. I guess you say regardless of kind of how they do, let's say in these next 5 seasons or whatever, like if they suck, like they're still considered, I feel like one of the more like I don't know how, like I guess maybe like OG kind of programs of EYBL. I feel like I don't know too much about the history of EYBL, but I just feel like like the Mac Irvin Fire, the Oakland Soldiers, I guess you could say maybe the New York Wrens. I don't know. I'll throw a Night Riders because my guys, and I don't know. I guess maybe like Drive Nation is kind of like a good solid team as well. Like Mac Irvin Fire is always, I guess Mean Streets too, but you play for Mac Irvin Fire. Like that team is always just going to be a really well respected organization. So what's it like being a part of the Mac Irvin Fire family?
It's great. Everybody at Mac Irvin Fire, it's kind of like St. Rita. They care for me, I care for them. They always look out for me. My coaches, even my teammates, even people on older levels. It's kind of a family there too. Everybody's happy for each other. With everybody's success. I feel like with my team, especially, that we're really, really close. Considering that we've played with each other for a couple of years, I think it's really easy for us to play with each other because, we kind of know each other well. Like I know where, such and such wants the ball and they know where I want the ball. So I think it makes it easier. I think it makes it easier for us to work with each other.
For sure. And EYBL this year, I don't just kind of it's just going to be like one little bit over the week stretch thing where there's going to be one team coming on the top. I've said this in every interview where it's a player from EYBL. I think it's going to be so hard to win. Like I think it's going to, like, I feel like whatever team wins, think if they did it again, a different team would win. Like it would just. I think it's always gonna be different every single time. Like it's probably gonna be one of the most hardest, I guess, tournaments in high school basketball. Honestly, whether it's AAU or high school basketball, I think it's gonna be just super, super, super tough. So what do you think you guys are gonna have to do to go out on top of that really tough environment?
Play defense, play together. I think our rebounding is gonna be key. Just going out, playing together. Being able to, make that extra pass to each other, playing defense as a team, getting the helping each other, not giving up, just things like that. Just kind of what we do, at Mac Irvin, be tough, resilient, just the basic things. I think we'll be able to go out and compete, and I think we have a chance at winning Beach Jam.
For sure. With your recruitment process now, I guess it's kind of one question about that. Being like a freshman, you have a lot of offers compared to, I guess, majority of the freshmen out there. Like, there's a lot of good freshmen that have no offers just because they're so young. So what's it like I guess, being started on this recruitment journey just so early on in your career?
It's really cool. Obviously, being able to meet different coaches and talk to them over the phone, and but I'm really just grateful for my coaches at Mac Irvin and my coaches first at St. Rita for talking to all these different colleges to put my name out there and to try and help me get to a good university, so I can get a good education. That's really it. Just being grateful for all of them, just having faith in me, and being able to put my name out there.
For sure, and getting an offer, that's definitely a big achievement. And also something you achieved this year was you were able to get on the Max Preps, I guess the Max Preps freshman All-American third team. So what was it like, achieving that accomplishment and being recognized like that?
That was also a great honor. Something that I'm, also really thankful for from my St. Rita coaches. Being able to put my name out there and help me, help me, just basically help me. But yeah, that was something that I was really grateful and thankful for also.
Yeah, and then I guess another thing, too. So I don't know when these rankings are coming out by ESPN or Rivals or 24/7 Sports, but like I'm very like interested in seeing kind of what guys get ranked, and I guess even like who gets ranked and who doesn't. Like I think it's going to be very very interesting thing to see, just since there's a lot, like they have a Team USA camp, so people are starting to know who the legit 2024 guys are. So when those rankings come out, as you say, do you expect to be ranked in that top 25 or however many players there are?
Right now I don't want to sound like that guy, but I'm not really
Yeah.
focused on rankings right now. But I mean, if I was in the top 25, I mean that's something that that's obviously really cool, and another great, honestly, that would be really cool for me to see. But I'm kind of just focused on my high school team and what we're trying to accomplish with winning a state championship this year, and then also AAU with winning Peach Jam. So I mean, if I was on the top 25, that's something that I'd be really happy for and excited for. But if I wasn't, then it's like kind of just more motivation to work harder, get better.
For sure. And I guess that's kind of basically all the really detailed questions I have. So just before we get in this interview, kind of like a really good ending question. What do you want your legacy to be like once you step away from the game of basketball?
I just want to, maximize. I just want to get to my full potential. Use the game of basketball for all it's worth for me. Whether that's getting me to a job, getting me at somebody's company, or playing the NBA or playing overseas. Obviously I want to play in the NBA, but I mean if the NBA is not what I'm supposed to be doing, then then I'm not supposed to be in the NBA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And then I guess this is a tradition that I have in my interviews now, or it's kind of always been this way. But at the end, so I always plug your Instagram, then I plug my Instagram. But before we kind of get into that, I do see there's a number in your Instagram, the number 13. So just why is that number there?
So my cousin actually, Corey Brewer, who played in the NBA, you might know who he is,
Yep.
you might not. But he always wore the number 13. So, me being close with him and, talking from him and learning from him, I always felt like, I wanted to wear the number 13 too. Even when I played football, I wore it. And then when I first started playing basketball, I wore it, and I wear it at my high school. So, it's just, I don't know what it is about the number 13, and, it just has a lot. It's just a really special number to me. And I always enjoy, playing with it. I always play with it. I put a lot of pride when I have that on.
Yeah, for sure. Well, now, again, really, really appreciate it for your time, coming on, letting me interview you definitely means a lot. But yeah, so make sure you guys give us a follow on Instagram at jamesbrown.13. And I'm at iHoopsFL. And anyways, for 2024 St. Rita High School center/power forward, James Brown, I'm Isaac Fleischer, and this has been another iHoopsFL interview. Peace out, guys.